Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Good morning, everyone, and thanks for joining us on the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Also featured on the Roar on 99.1, 93.5, and 94.7 HD2. Good morning, Adam.
Good morning. You look good.
I look good.
Look at you showing up to work looking good for once.
You're so mean.
I know. I'm sorry. I can't help it. How are you?
That's okay. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good.
Did you have a good night?
How about let's just leave it as, I had a good night.
It's okay. I made cannolis and chocolate chip cookies and Rice Krispie treats.
You basically were Maddie's
And
Bakery last
tacos.
night, yeah.
And did you bother bringing
She was like
anything
Maddie's
in?
Bakery.
Well, I was late, so after the show, I'm going to go get everything.
Oh, okay.
God damn it. Oh, God.
It was either I show up late and you have to do the intro for the show, or
You made the right decision.
I show up and then just leave.
People
for
don't
10
want to see me
minutes.
exactly at 8 o'clock. They're waiting for you.
Oh,
I'm
they want
aware.
to see you at 8:01?
But
Oh, God.
we have to
no
see you
Terry
even
today,
earlier
obviously.
than that, so.
No Terry. We got Anthony from Pistons
Yes.
Ooh.
9 o'clock. I'm excited. Spencer joining us for the
Yes.
last half hour of the show. That should be fun. But let's just get into it. Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving. You guys all know the drama. And you guys are all aware of the stupid hypothetical of why Kevin Durant should come to Detroit.
Detroit now! He's coming! He's here! He's here! He's here! Oh, I can't believe it! He's coming to Detroit! Shut up, you idiots! You're so stupid! Get a life!
I've raised fish well. I claim him as my son.
I sorry.
This morning I'm claiming him as my son. That 10 out of 10.
Stupid.
Holy hell. Way to go, Fish.
I can't help you.
I couldn't have said it any better.
I can't help you.
Look, Kyrie Irving reportedly is signing a deal with the Nets, remaining with them for the season. They're going to give it one more go. But also reports that came out are the Nets are just tired of Kevin Durant. They're tired of Kyrie Irving. Well, all right, good. Well, either you're going to blow it up or you're going to make one more go at it, and then you're going to have to blow it up again next year. The inevitable is it's like a wormhole, an unstable wormhole, or even a black hole. The ending is violent. The ending is not good at all, and there's no escaping it. There's no escaping it at all. And I think Pistons fans really need to take a chill pill and remember that not too long ago they were rumored to build a team around Blake Griffin and Russell Westbrook, to build a team around Reggie Jackson, Andre Drummond, Tobias Harris. Chill out. I know it's been since 2004, your last NBA title. All right, fine. The Avalanche went in 21 years without a title. They're doing just fine. You're looking to build a contender, not just a team that's going to win championships. That is very difficult to do in the NBA. And the only way to do it in the NBA is to have stars on your team. Last I checked, Detroit doesn't attract top 3, top 5 players to the market. It's just not a thing. Okay, so how do we do it? Well, through the draft. So that would eliminate Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. And I'm going to tell you why. You need to be, patient. Practice a little patience this morning instead of complacency. I don't believe the Pistons are being complacent with the money that they have right now or the draft capital that they've had. Pistons fans even asking for Kevin Durant is a sin. It goes against the fundamental way you're supposed to build this team. Boston have shown you. Golden State have shown you. San Antonio has shown you. If you truly, truly want hyper success, the only way to do it is by drafting stars. Sadiq Bey, a rising young, I would say, all-star. I don't think he could be a superstar, but I hope he proves me wrong. Cade Cunningham, I believe, absolutely can be a superstar. And then, of course, Jaden Ivey. You have the track record of who the Kings pick and who comes after. You have the history of the number 5 overall pick, where in recent years, De'Aaron Fox, Darius Garland, you go back to Kevin Love, Dwayne Wade, Ray Allen, Kevin Garnett. the Pistons have an opportunity to have a young core three that allows you to contend for the next 8, 10, 12, dare I say 13 years. This team, as it is now, will not be the team that's in the playoffs 3 years from now, that's winning maybe a playoff series 4 years from now. So just chill out. Kevin Durant has 2 years on his contract left. What's the rush? What's the rush? You're willing to give up your young core for Kevin Durant, who maybe plays 2 seasons for you? Maybe? Who's played, I believe, a total of 63% of the games available to him over the last 2 years? Are we serious? We're going to choose that, the quick. You know, guys, nothing in life that's great comes quick. You don't believe me. You don't believe me. This is the fun. See, this is the part I love about my job. I really do.
I thought I was getting to look at me every day.
Hey, you're kind of exposing us right now, so I'll be shut the hell up. Anyways. You know, it's mornings like this that just make me feel really good, which, you know, you go back to 2008, 2009, Steph Curry draft. Golden State Warriors, they were 29-53. They followed up that season with a 26-56 record. And then they were 36-46. And then 23-43 in Mark Jackson's first year. And then, 5 long years later, going into year 6, they made the playoffs. Mark Jackson, 47-35. Mark Jackson the following year, 51-31. But they lost in the first round. All right, book it. Steve Kerr time. Year 9, they win the finals. Now, I'm not saying you can't win the finals sooner than that, Detroit. But LeBron couldn't win until year 8 or 9. Jordan couldn't win until year 8 or 9. You want to bring up Magic, Bird, go for it. Different era, different way the teams were constructed, super teams. You need to build your own super team, Detroit. And I think you're on the way to do it. I just don't believe you need to go after a Kevin Durant, who, yeah, maybe you win 49, 51 games this year. You bring in Kevin Durant, you bring in some veterans. So, well, there goes your cap space for the next 2 years. Then what? Oh, there goes your young core. And there goes your first-round picks for the next few years. Like, come on. We're better than this. The Golden State Warriors took 9 years to win their first championship, to make their first finals appearance. Why the hell do you think you're going to suddenly turn it around in 3? Now, if you do, great. No one would be happier than me. But the reality is, Kevin Durant does nothing for you. Kevin Durant does nothing except hurt your basketball team. Hurts your future. Now, are you willing to wait 4 or 5 years to be contending in the Eastern Conference? Or do you want it right now so bad, you need it so bad, that you're willing to sacrifice your core that could be around for the next 10, 12 years? Just for maybe a hint of success? May I remind you, Kevin Durant has never won an NBA championship without a co-superstar in Steph Curry. He hasn't been able to do it even with Kyrie. James Harden. What makes you think he's going to be able to do it with this young Pistons core? It's not a shot at KD. It's just his reality. That's why he left Golden State. He wanted to prove he could have his own team. He's the alpha. And don't get me wrong, he was the alpha on Golden State. I don't like people who drive that narrative. He was definitely the best player on that team. But he wasn't what the team was built around. He was the final piece to just make them unstoppable. And he absolutely was the best player. So Kyrie staying essentially eliminates KD from moving, supposedly. I'm very happy this morning. I don't want Kevin Durant in Detroit. I don't want Kevin Durant in Detroit 2 years from now. If you think signing a 35-year-old Kevin Durant is going to take you over the hump and the realistic expectations of this team 2 years from now, you are sadly mistaken. It took the Warriors 6 seasons to make the playoffs, 9 to get to a finals, and 9 to get to the Western Conference Finals. Now I know you, Adam, well, the Western Conference was loaded. The East is looking pretty damn good for the next few years, if you ask me. So get comfortable with enjoying the process. Get comfortable with understanding that this young core has a chance to be everything you're dreaming of. But you got to give it a chance. You can't just expect it to turn around. The free agents, the veterans you're going to sign now aren't going to be a part of the team in 2-3 years. Hell, even the free agents that, let's say you attract Miles Bridges. His contract will expire in 4 years. And maybe in 4 years, Jaden Ivey's a star and Cade's a superstar. And Saddiq Bey's a young star. It's a young team full of stars. So you still have that. So then you can go back in free agency, load up with veterans, and do the same thing all over again. And then try to actually compete. Because you will not compete in the Eastern Conference until Cade's a superstar. It's that simple. I shouldn't even say superstar. Till Cade Cunningham is a star player. Where he's getting you to 50, 51, 52 wins in a season. Till then, just enjoy it, right? There's no need to talk about this team needs to win 42 games this year. 47. I don't think that's necessary. And when you have a team made of Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, Saddiq Bey, Jalen Duren, Isaiah Stewart, Isaiah Livers, Killian Hayes, very young, you just need to chill and wait. You just need to chill. Have a coffee this morning. Relax. Deep breaths. It's going to be a fun season. Good morning, Maddie.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine. Why are you asking?
I'm just asking. Curious. I had a great night. I slept a lot.
No, you didn't. Don't lie to the people.
I actually did sleep a lot.
What,
it was just
4
after
hours?
the fact. It was after the fact, though. It was fun. I had a good time yesterday.
I love that for you.
When we come back, grading the Detroit Pistons draft selection of Jaden Ivey. Not many teams got an A+ from me in this draft. There were only 3. The Thunder, the Pistons, and you know what? A lot of people aren't going to say it, but damn it, I'm going to say it. The New York Knicks get an A+. And yes, that is a sarcastic A+. Oh, God, the Knicks absolutely suck. So does Charlotte. It's so fun to watch. Anyways, when we get back, we'll go over the Jaden Ivey pick, what it means for the Pistons moving forward, how it even unfolded. We'll get to all that, and I'll give, of course, my A+ grade for the team. But before we do, I got to tell you about my bookie. Bet from anywhere, anytime using my bookie. Sign up today using promo code Woodward. If you haven't already, mybookie.com, your source of all betting needs. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-270-7117.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risk, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
New to the game or a season better? OddsTrader.com has everything you need to make the right bet ahead of kickoff. Begin your handicapping journey with OddsTrader. Improve your edge by finding the best price on every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the OddsTrader bet tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to OddsTrader, and best of luck.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us on the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Adam, you're being awfully pleasant this morning. It's a little scary.
He woke
do you
up
mean?
happy again, shockingly.
What do you mean?
Did you wake up happy today?
No.
Okay.
Why?
I'm just checking on you. You're supposed to check on your friends, you know.
Yeah, you haven't told me to F off yet, so we're just
Well,
making
shut
sure
the
you're
fuck up
okay.
and mute your
There
mic.
we go.
You gave me a compliment this morning.
Yeah, you gave her a
called
comp-
Fish your son.
Yeah.
Because he did a great job with the Kevin Durant skit. That was awesome.
Okay.
I was not expecting that. That was a home run.
We're just looking out for you.
Yeah,
that's
we're
all.
looking out for you. We care about you.
Whatever. Whatever. All right.
We know you need therapy.
Can't disagree. Dealing with you every day is very difficult. Anyways, the Detroit Pistons selected Jaden Ivey, number 5 overall. How this even happened is kind of crazy. If you want to date back to February, myself, Terry, Jeff, it didn't matter. The conversation was, hey, the Pistons, they have to luck into a top 3 pick, right? They have to, because you want one of the big 3. And then the lottery happens. And then it's, all right, well, you're looking for the best case scenario. And then you start to dive in more because, again, you were projected to have a top 3 pick. But you don't. You don't end up with one. And then you start looking into it more and you start watching the other players on the board and you're like, well, holy hell. Jaden Ivey might be just as talented as some of these guys in the top 3, top 4. And you start getting excited, of course, and the conversations continue, and the mock drafts come out, and it's Keegan Murray, it's Jaden Ivey, it's Benedict Mathurin, it's Shaedon Sharpe. And then we get close to the draft. Weeks, days leading up to the draft. That's where it gets fun. The Kings aren't able to trade out of the pick. Indiana wasn't moving up. Portland wasn't moving up. All right. Well, we're stuck here. And everybody and their mother knows we want Keegan Murray. And damn it, we're not going to move off of it. We're going to make that decision. And boy, round of applause to everybody in the Sacramento Kings scouting department and the organization. Thank you so much. Can't thank you enough. God bless. I love the city of Sacramento. So they take Keegan Murray, who, by the way, is probably more NBA ready than some of the guys that were taken in the top 10. Most of the guys, maybe. He's much more polished, has a year or 2 years of experience more than some of the guys that were taken. But that doesn't change the fact that you're looking for a star. Can Keegan Murray be a star? I'd put my money and say he could be a all-star 2 or 3 times in his career, 4 times, but he'll never be the one alpha on a team. I don't believe that ever to be the case. And Jaden Ivey falls. And then the Pistons obviously select the kid with the hometown ties. The kid who, by the way, demonstrated, I believe, the most raw, clear-cut emotions I've seen in a draft. Maybe in 5-6 years? I can't recall the last time it was that emotional. And not just emotional because the family ties. Emotional because the journey. The impact his mother's made on him. You got a high character young kid who could be a star, hell, even a superstar. I know people don't want to hear the D-Wade comparisons. I won't even go there this morning. But Dwayne Wade is what you're looking out of Jaden Ivey for. I know people like to say a hybrid of Ja Morant, Victor Oladipo, whatever. The kid can get to the basket, he can attack the basket, and he can score. And that's what you want. That's what you've wanted to pair next to Cade this whole time. And the fact that you have him now, it's an A+. It was an A+. Great Lake Ruler says we got to stop acting like Sacramento didn't draft who they were supposed to draft. They didn't need a guard. They needed a 3 or 4. See, that's the problem, Great Lake. That's the problem. No, they actually do. Keegan Murray's not moving the needle in Sacramento. They're just trying to win 47, 48 games this year. They're not going to be contending. Keegan Murray doesn't put them over the top. And Keegan Murray in the future won't be the reason why they're over the top. Domantas Sabonis is not a star. He's a very good player. De'Aaron Fox is not a star. He's a very good player. Keegan Murray is not a star. He's just a very good player. And a very good prospect. That's it. You didn't move the needle in Sacramento. The right pick would have been Jaden Ivey. And you move on Davion Mitchell. If De'Aaron Fox can't figure out how to play with Jaden Ivey, that's your problem. Is Murray better than Garza? Is this even a question? Stop it. Moving forward with the Jaden Ivey pick. Again, what did you want Troy Weaver to do? You wanted him to take a chance on a guy that could be Cade Cunningham's co-star. That was it. You nailed the pick last year. This year at 5, nobody in their right mind thought A, Jaden Ivey was falling past 4, and B, that Sacramento wouldn't be able to trade with somebody who would then end up taking Jaden Ivey, or they would take him themselves. But here we are. I agree with Chris in the comments. They should have taken Ivey and moved Mitchell. Yes. Yes. You tell me where Davion Mitchell is going to be in 5 years. And we'll compare where Keegan Murray is in 5 years, along with where Jaden Ivey will be in 5 years. But I will say, Keegan Murray ended up where his best situation would be, and Jaden Ivey ended up where his best situation would be. Jaden Ivey playing with Cade Cunningham and a young Detroit Pistons roster is much better for him than going straight into Sacramento, where they have this delusional mentality of they want to compete in the playoffs when they're not really going to be able to. They won't get out of the first round ever. Ever. I'm telling you from now, this project will never get them out of the first round. But Keegan Murray, I think, will be a solid 14, 15, 16 a night. Shoot the ball decently. Get you a bucket. Have a few 20-point nights throughout the year. Showcase his talents. Never anything amounting to a star. Jaden Ivey will show you flashes of being a star player. And that's why the Pistons get an A+. That's why the Pistons get an A+. Troy Weaver can sleep with my wife. Bless this man. Chris, me and you think alike. Troy Weaver can have my wife after the other night, honestly. Fantastic performance. 10 out of 10. There was a lot of, I would say, critics, cynics on Troy Weaver because, well, he had the #1 pick. And you know what? Cade Cunningham, you can't mess that up. All right, fine. Let's say I acknowledge this. You had the #5 overall pick, and he has shown the ability, no matter where he's picking, he can figure it out. And supposedly, we are underestimating Davion Mitchell, who's going to be a superstar in this league, who in his rookie year, 11 points, 4 assists a game, shot 31% from 3, 42% from the field, played 75 games, only started 19 of them. He was a guy that was coming. There's a difference between being a starting 2, a starting 2, and a 2 that comes off the bench. And if he's not even effective from the field, coming off the bench and coming into the game and getting those 27, 28 minutes, what the hell is he going to do when he's in the starting 5? Unbelievable. Adam, you are spot on with the process. We must be patient and build and gel throughout the season. The Warriors were fortunate to have those injuries and have the young guys get experience. Yeah, look, you're just going to have to embrace sucking a little bit. Do any of you expect to win a playoff series this year? Can we run that poll? Does anybody in the chat think the Pistons are going to win a playoff series, not only this year, but in the next year to 2 years? Let's just call it the next 2 years. Because I believe by year 3, they'll be pretty solid. Because you're going to have players that are in year 3, year 4, year 5. You're going to have veteran pieces. I think you can make a run at least out of the first round. So let's just say the next 2 years. Do you expect to get out of the first round? And I hope all of you answer no. And that doesn't mean you are horrible fans with no expectations. That's not what it means. And whoever tells you that can go fuck themselves. They're lying to you. And they're just being a little bitch. You need to understand that the team that you are constructing right now, yes, I am going to say it has dynasty potential. It does. Why? Because you have a young core of 3 players that all will grow at the same rate, like you saw Draymond, Clay, and Steph, like you saw Manu, Tim, and Tony Parker, like you even saw Kobe and young Shaq, even though Shaq was probably in year 9, 10 when they won their first chip. Not their first, probably. Year 7, year 8 when they won their first chip. The point is, you have an opportunity. I'm not saying you will have a dynasty. But you want to even go back to the bad boy Pistons. Isaiah and Joe. Where's Isaiah and Joe? Where have they been since? You had the 04 run, which was fantastic. That was team basketball, epitome. Great. How are you going to win in a Stars League? You tell me how. 52%. Wow.
Dang.
52% only say no. 48% of you say yes.
Yeah, you knew it was going to be high.
I am disappointed.
Well, you shouldn't be. Those are the same
I
people,
am
by the way,
very
that want
disappointed.
Durant coming to the
In a
Pistons.
rising Eastern Conference that will be difficult, you believe Cade Cunningham in year 3 or in year 2 will not only lead you to the playoffs, but will help win you a series? Really? Wow. I mean, you guys are either on drugs or you haven't had your coffee
what
yet.
they're having.
I want to know, because it's not in my cup. I want to know what all of you are drinking this morning. Wow.
You're not supposed to
52%.
question what's in people's cups. It's rude.
Says who?
Well, also, Adam doesn't care. So.
Says who? You?
I guess.
Oh, God. It is too early to say they might click in the next year or two. All-Star break, I will be able to judge. I don't think so, Zach. I don't think so. You are somewhere between the Golden State Warriors and the Boston Celtics at their originating point. 2008, 2009 with Steph Curry. The following season, they won 26 games. Super underachieving, right? The Boston Celtics, their first year with Jason Tatum, they went to the Eastern Conference Final. Different moments, right? This one team had a ton of veteran pieces, experienced players. The other was young, hurt, and you're going to be somewhere in between, where you don't have enough veteran players, but you also have a young core that's not hurt. You guys actually expect to win a playoff series in the next 2 years? That is shocking to me. I'm going to read off the teams in the East, and you guys tell me if you think you would beat them in a 7-game series.
Well, they're going to say yes to all of them. Or
The Miami Heat?
95% of them.
Are you beating the Miami Heat in the next 2 years? With the team they have now? No. Boston? No. Milwaukee? No.
Nope.
Philadelphia? No.
Nope.
Toronto? No.
No. Go
Chicago?
Canada.
Let's see what happens with Zach LaVine. But I would say Chicago, probably not. The Nets with Kyrie and KD? No. Trae Young and the Atlanta Hawks, we'll see what they build. I wouldn't say no indefinitely. The Cavaliers? I think the Cavaliers are more talented than you right now. They will beat you this year and next year, as they should. The Hornets, we'll see what happens there. The Knicks you can beat, Wizards you can beat, Pacers you can beat, Magic you can beat. And I could say very well after free agency that you could probably beat the Bulls, probably the Hornets. But those teams are all play-in teams. They're not even the teams that you're not even playing one of the 7 best teams. There are 7 teams in the Eastern Conference right now that will make the playoffs again this year that you will not be in a 7-game series in the next 2 years. Come on. And this is why the timeline is 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. And I don't think you want to accept that. That's fine. I will sit here for the next 2-3 years and tell you it's not going to happen unless Jaden Ivey has a season like Cade Cunningham had. If Jaden Ivey is what Cade Cunningham was year 1, except his own version, we can have the conversation by year 2. But you don't know that yet. Trade for Kevin Durant. I can't believe this thing's at 50-50. I really can't. I am disappointed.
I can't either. That's a little shocking to me.
That is some high-grade Kool-Aid delusional
But again,
stuff.
they're
Yeah.
expecting within the next 2 years for you to get a great player. Like some of those people expect Durant to come or Miles Bridges to be a superstar.
But you can't ever rely on that, though.
So I love this comment.
No,
if,
you
if
can't,
they're a
but
5 or
what
6
they
seed,
do.
they absolutely can win a series.
See? There
Really?
you go. There you
So
go.
as a 5 or 6 seed last year, you would have had to have won 46 or 48 games. And you would have had to beat in a team that won 51 games.
But remember, we're getting Durant.
And last year, you won 23 games. Okay. Let's go to break. What an awful way to end. What an awful way to end a good optimistic topic. Speaking of optimism, stop just talking about it and start doing it. Get your ass into the gym. You lazy asses. Planet Fitness, 0 down, $10 a month. Start today. Judgment-free zone, of course, as long as I'm not there. Your fitness is essential. Your fitness is essential. Visit them at planetfitness.com to sign up today or one of their many Metro Detroit locations. We'll see you guys in just a bit.
6 dark corners, a driveway and a patio, 5 windows that could become doors. Every house has unique security challenges. Guardian Alarm has more tech, more team, and more ways to help keep them all safe. Get a professionally designed and installed security and smart home system from Guardian Alarm. Sign up today and get a free video device. Guardian Alarm. Smart, right from the start. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Our friends at Alta Equipment know that when it comes time to getting your job completed on budget and on schedule, uptime matters. That's why Alta Equipment has partnered with the biggest names in construction. So if you've got a big project coming up, Alta Rents, they've got you covered. Give them a call at 844-GO-TO-ALTA today. Alta Equipment, where uptime matters.
All right. All right. We're alive. We're alive here on a beautiful Tuesday morning. Fish giving me the middle finger. Can we put the camera on Fish for a second? I just want you guys to understand what I look at every morning.
Fish went golfing yesterday.
I saw no invite, by the way. He's
Literally.
a prick.
He was all upset that we didn't go on Sunday and now we don't get a freaking invite.
Yeah, what the hell's that all about, Fish?
You know? Just...
Yeah, I know, you're a dick.
You know?
It's what happens when my heart gets breaking into a million pieces the day before, so...
We didn't even go, bitch.
I know. I know. But, you know, you'll get an invite one of these days. It's only June, by the way. It's June 28th. There's like 3 more months in the summer left. Just relax.
Adam and I are playing next Saturday.
So there you go.
Oh, that's right. We have an outing, don't we?
We do.
There you go. It's going to be fun. All right, well, Déjà Vu. I'm sure you guys have heard
Maybe
of
you
the
can
term.
go with me and Stick on Sunday.
If you guys invite me. Instead of
I
being a bunch of
invited you
bitches.
yesterday. I
I don't remember. Anyways.
Well, you probably were busy, so.
Anyways. Guys, I'm sure you've all heard of Déjà Vu. It's where you feel like you've experienced something again for the first time. Kind of weird, but you haven't. It's actually happened before. Does anybody want to acknowledge that what the Pistons did on draft night was very reminiscent of what the Lions did back in late April? Anybody? Any takers? Trayvon Walker goes #1 overall. Not expecting that. Totally expecting Aiden Hutchinson to go #1. You get him. That's a fortunate player that falls to you. Thank you. Thank you very much, Jacksonville. You somehow trade up 20 spots in the first round, essentially for a 3rd-round pick, and you just swapped your 2nd-round pick. Okay. And your 1st round. Thanks. Thank you. That's all it costed us? Really? Cool. That's nice. We'll take Jameson Williams. Didn't expect him to be available for us. Thanks so much. And then you have the NBA draft. Pick number 5. Keegan Murray. The whole conversation is Keegan Murray will likely be there at 5, and you will take him, and you will like it, Detroit. Fuck no, we don't want it. And what happens? The Kings do us a solid. They take Keegan Murray, and Jaden Ivey is obviously the pick. Jaden Ivey falls to you at 5. That is fortunate. Nobody had Jaden Ivey falling to 5. That's just not a thing. When we did our mock drafts, sure, we had him falling to 5. You have no idea how biased that is. You're damn right we want Jaden Ivey to fall to 5. Of course I'm going to sit here and tell you that the Kings are going to take Keegan Murray.
And then that was every mock draft we did for NFL, too.
So, yeah, every mock draft, we had it going one of 2 ways. Aiden Hutchinson fell to #2, or you just settle for Kayvon Thibodeau.
Yeah.
It was one of the 2, and you weren't changing your mind.
You weren't mad about either one.
Like, come on. I just have to be honest with you, right? So then what happens after that? Troy Weaver trades a pick from Milwaukee in 2025, along with accepting Kemba Walker, who you're going to buy out, and it's not even going to kill your cap space. and they get the center that they wanted, that'll allow them not to pay DeAndre Ayton all that money. And they go get Jalen Duren. Guys, for me, it was complete deja vu. It was very reminiscent of what the Lions did, but I have to say, let's just call it what it is. You have 3 alpha leaders heading your franchises in the sports town. Steve Yzerman, absolute money. Fantastic GM. It will work out. I'm very confident. The first player he selected in his first year, bang, Calder Memorial Trophy winner. Not bad if you ask me. Brad Holmes. Do I have to even acknowledge Penei Sewell? Amon-Ra St. Brown in the 4th round. Do I have to bring up the trade for Jameson Williams? That was fantastic. Troy Weaver taking over a disaster roster, getting rid of all of it. And now your young core, instead of it being Blake Griffin, potentially Russell Westbrook, Svi, Andre Drummond, oh my God. Instead of all that crap, you get to build around Kate Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, Sadiq Bey, Killian Hayes, Isaiah Livers, Jalen Duren, Isaiah Stewart. Not bad if you ask me. Not bad if you ask me. I can get used to that. Now, of course, Detroit is synonymous for typically having one really bad sports team every year, right? So the Tigers had to take that hit for us this year. We understand. Al Avila, it's okay. I know you're a little slow and, you need help eating bananas every morning, but it's a challenge. I get it. Hey, I get it. Somebody's got to take the beating in this town. And I have to say, I appreciate Al Avila for being as garbage of a GM as he is, because it's allowed us to focus and turn our heads to the great situations we have going on here in this town with Steve Yzerman, Brad Holmes, and Troy Weaver. That's the only compliment I'll give Al Avila moving forward.
But doesn't that suck for, the sake of baseball?
Not really. All of baseball are very happy that the Tigers suck, because they know they can call, literally, they have Al Avila on speed dial. Hey, Al, I'll send you the 300th ranked prospect in my system for Target School.
I mean for the fans.
Of course it sucks for Tigers fans. Come
Because
on.
baseball's already struggling.
Yeah, but look, I mean, Al Avila sucks at his job. I can't believe, I just don't even want to acknowledge it. I really don't. What's today? June 28th. He's still the fucking GM? You guys serious? What do fans need to do to get this guy out of town? What does media need to do to get this guy out of town? He doesn't know what the hell he's doing. If 8 years isn't enough for you to finish, work out that, hey, maybe my marriage isn't working. Maybe this job isn't working out for me. If you can't figure shit out in 8 years, you're never going to figure it out. You're just going to spend your life being a loser.
Yeah, but if it's on the fans and on the media to get somebody out, there's clearly a bigger problem than just Al Avila.
Well, you know what? It's easy to say that. But when you own a baseball team, and you inherit one, I shouldn't even say own it. You inherit a baseball team. You have a different mindset. And Chris Ilitch can say all he wants about, he's all about winning, and we're 100% out of this rebuild. Shut up, man. Shut up. You've been hoodwinked by Al Avila. It's that simple. Just admit it, by the way, and I'll like you a little more. It's not hard, Chris. It's super easy for you. You walk into that fat ass's office, and you kick him out of the job. And you tell him, dude, it's been 6 years, really. The first 2, kind of let it go, whatever. The team was still put together. The moment we wanted to enter a rebuild, 6 years later, we are still in a rebuild. And that is on you. And you can clamor about your analytics staff, and we've just been unlucky. You can say whatever you want, Al. You're an idiot. You have no idea what the hell you're doing. And the only saving grace, by the way, that has kept him in a job is AJ Hinch. Whether you want to admit it or not. Because that's a 40-win team last year, and that's a 40-win team this year. But the optimism in the top 5 manager that you have in the building right now supersedes all that. And it gets you to a point where you're like, you know what, they can contend in the Central. They could finish in second. Hell, you had me thinking, you know what, this is a team that somehow, some way, because of the manager they have, they're going to find a way to win 83, 84, 85 games. Didn't happen. Clearly. Can't deal with Al Avila. Which is why it's nice to look over at Allen Park See Brad Holmes operating. Go down to the LCA. Troy Weaver. Steve Yzerman. That's how you operate. Speaking of Steve Yzerman, the draft's next Thursday. We'll be hosting an NHL draft party. That'll be fun.
Yes,
I'm excited.
we will.
I'm excited. I'll be there.
Me too.
I'm going to have a good time. But I'm sorry.
And my husband will be there too.
Who?
Michael.
Oh, Michael. That's right. Sorry. I forget you have too many of them.
Why have one when you can have multiple?
That's what she said. Yeah, sorry, Fish. That had to happen. I'm really disappointed in you guys. We can take down that poll because I just don't want to look at it. Will the Pistons win a playoff series in the next 2 years?
Why are you disappointed? You know what this
56% say yes.
Yeah, you know what this fan, and it says 2 years, by the way. You know what this fan base is and does.
Say it.
I just told you, this fan base loves to think the team's better than they actually are. Many people think the Lions are going to get 10, 11 wins. Some of them work for the network. If Durant comes on the team, you think they're going to get more wins, yes or no?
Durant, Ryan, shut the hell up. Dude, just park across the street. This is not hard. Exercise a little bit, dude. Stop being lazy.
Tell Ryan Lentz, of all people, to stop being lazy.
I know, Mr. Baseball aficionado over here.
And he does everything for us.
Yes.
He's a trooper.
Yes,
He's a great kid.
Ryan, you can park in VIP. I'll move your car after.
Yeah, whatever. What's wrong with year 3 Cade being expected to be a real playoff team? There's nothing wrong with that. But what are you building? You're going to have year 3 Cade and year 2 Jaden Ivey. Year 2 Jalen Duren. What veterans are you going to have on this team? Because the veterans in this class aren't the greatest. You're going to go for Bobby Portis? Kyle Anderson? I don't think that fits anymore. What are you going after that's going to make you confident that you're going to be able to take over and win by year 3? Look at Luka Doncic. This is a great example. Because a lot of player comps with Cade Cunningham is Luka Doncic. Well, let's look at Luka Doncic's stats, or excuse me, his playoff success in his first few years. Why are you laughing at Westfall? What's going on?
What? Don't worry about it.
Oh, God. I don't even want to know. All right, anyways, the point is you guys are insufferable. His first, 2018, 2019 was his first year. Luka Doncic didn't win a playoff series until his his 5th season. Or, fourth season. Sorry, everybody. His 4th season, he finally won a playoff series. Luka Doncic. Dallas Mavericks. So even if I entertain it, how the hell are you supposed to do it? We should try and get Duncan Robinson's bad contract. We can afford it right now. Need shooters. I wouldn't hate that. I definitely wouldn't hate that. Year 4 of Bay, Stewart, Hayes. Year 2, Livers. Yeah, look, I don't see how the Pistons are supposed to win a 7-game playoff series by the end of next season. That's a tough sell for me. Now, again, let's see what happens in free agency. But with the team you have now, I'm sorry. Year 3, I'm on board. I'm on board with you winning a playoff series in year 3. I could get behind that. Year 4, Cade. Year 3, Ivey. Year 3, Duren. Year 5, Sadiq Bey. Year 5, Killian Hayes. Veteran pieces now. You've had 2 off seasons to address it. You have now veterans on the team. Have you gone out and gotten, I don't know, a Miles Bridges? I don't know. Just curious, are you guys going to start talking about NHL draft prospects this week? We are. We're actually going to have the Winged Wheel podcast on later this week and next week.
Yes,
and we'll
we
be
are.
previewing the NHL draft. It's going to be fun. I'm going to enjoy it. But we're going to go to break. When we get back, projecting the top 5 offensive play callers this season, I'm going to tell you why Ben Johnson may end up in the top 4 by the end of the year. And I don't think the competition is that stiff except at the top. So we'll go to break. But before we do, I got to tell you about the Mulligan by Gypsy Vodka. It's the official drink of the summer, 8% alcohol, iced tea, lemonade, and of course, Gypsy Vodka. Whether you're on the golf course or having a good time with Maddie at your house, make sure you have Gypsy Vodka and the Mulligan available to you.
I saw that Hollywood yesterday.
Good for you. Well, everybody at home, drink responsibly.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Well, it is summertime, and nobody looks better in the summer unless they have a tan. You can get your tan on at Chili Peppers Tanning. That's where you find the cleanest salons in the D. They've got spotless sanitized rooms and trained certified tanning professionals. Don't forget to join the Pepper Club for all the best deals on unlimited tanning. Chili Peppers, they've got the hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, and the darkest tans.
Chili Peppers Tan!
God bless you, Fish. All right, we're back here on the Morning Woodward Show, projecting the top 5 play callers next year going in the NFC. I'm excited. We'll start with the Arizona Cardinals. Cliff Kingsbury. I think that's an obvious one to have in your top 5. So we'll start at 1. And I want to work my way down because you can expect where I'm going to put Ben Johnson on this list. I don't believe you guys are clueless. Matt LaFleur, number 1. I think that's the obvious. I think he's the most... Actually, this is tricky because I did remove Sean McVay from this list on the sole fact that they are Super Bowl champions. I want to see the next up and coming. I have Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan. Who's next? I probably should have taken Matt LaFleur off the list, but for the sake of argument, I left Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay off. They're just in a different class. It's not worth me having a conversation about. Matt LaFleur at number 1. Kellen Moore with the Dallas Cowboys, I think, at number 2. Above who number 3 is, which is Cliff Kingsbury, head coach and the play caller for the Arizona Cardinals. Before I even get to 4 and 5, I want to read you the offensive coordinators in the NFC in order. Atlanta Falcons, Dave Ragone. Carolina Panthers, Ben McAdoo, they're fucked. The Chicago Bears, Luke Getsy. Of course, the Los Angeles Rams, Liam Cohn, but really it's Sean McVay. Minnesota Vikings, it's really Kevin O'Connell, but Wes Phillips. New Orleans Saints, Pete Carmichael. The New York Giants, Mike Kafka. Philadelphia Eagles, Shane Steichen. The Niners don't have an offensive coordinator. Seattle Seahawks, Shane Waldron, not going to happen. And the Washington Commanders, Scott Turner. Ben Johnson is better than every single one of those people that I just listed. So... the order goes Matt LaFleur, Kellen Moore, Cliff Kingsbury, Byron Leftwich, number 4. Although I would have loved to seen him a year without Tom Brady. I've got Ben Johnson at 5. And Wes Phillips of the Minnesota Vikings at 6. Reports are it'll be Wes who is going to play call this season. Interested to see how that works with Kevin O'Connell being there, another Sean McVay disciple. But I think Wes Phillips, who, by the way, is the son, I believe, of Wade Phillips, his first offensive coordinating job. I think him and Ben Johnson, you can label as 2 of the bright up-and-coming guys in the NFC. That'll be fun to watch. Kevin O'Connell, you can definitely put there as well. He's the head coach. But I expect by the end of the season, Ben Johnson to overtake Byron Leftwich and Cliff Kingsbury. I think the Cardinals absolutely suck this season. And I believe he loses his job. And I don't think they're going to have a good season at all. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you have Tom Brady. You'll make it work. I have no problems with Byron Leftwich. I think he should have gotten the job in Jacksonville, but hey, he didn't want to work with Trent Balake, and I don't blame him because they took Trayvon Walker number 1 overall. You look at even, you know what, if I were to put a 5A, B, and C, I would look at Ben Johnson, Wes Phillips, and you know what, I really can't disregard what's going on with the Giants. I really can't ignore Mike Kafka, Brian Dable. That's a tough one. So I would say a 5A, B, and C. I wouldn't even give 6 and 7. A, B, and C. I think they're all very close. I think they'll have a lot to prove, but by the end of the year, this list, I'll remove Matt LaFleur from it because he's just too experienced. You'll have Kellen Moore, Ben Johnson, Wes Phillips, Mike Kafka, and the hell if I know around the league else, because they all suck. It's not going to be Ben McAdoo, I'll tell you that. Again, you have your Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay, Cliff Kingsbury, I think, is going to get canned. Matt LaFleur. Not going to include these guys with the up-and-comers. These guys are well-proven vets. They're in a different class. But again, let's look at the quarterback difference now between 5A, B, and C. Ben Johnson, the Lions, Jared Goff. Wes Phillips in the Minnesota Vikings, Kirk Cousins. Brian Daboll, Mike Kafka, Daniel Jones. Who are you most confident in? Honestly, the answer should be Kirk Cousins, right? Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, Dalvin Cook. They're stacked. They're going to be one of the better offensive teams in the NFC this year. I believe that for a fact. And I believe they're going to win the division. I would rank Jared Goff second, obviously, on that list. So if you wanted to rework the list based on who's available to them, who will they be working with? Well, Matt LaFleur is working with Aaron Rodgers, Kellen Moore, Dak Prescott, Cliff Kyler, Byron Leftwich, Tom Brady. And then you could say Wes Phillips with the Minnesota Vikings is working with Kirk Cousins, but he has Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen, Dalvin Cook, Ben Johnson, Jared Goff, a top 3, top 4, top 5 offensive line, DeAndre Swift, TJ Hawkinson, DJ Chark, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams, Josh Reynolds. I mean, it's just about even. And then you go 7, of course. You got the situation in New York. They need to address the wide receiver position. They need to address the quarterback position. A lot going on in New York. But, again, I think Brian Daboll and Mike Kafka will probably give you the best version that you'll ever see of Daniel Jones. I don't think it's any better than that. What's up with that smile? Like that evil smile. What's going on there?
Mind your own business.
Oh, God. I see now what's going on. Ah! You know, I thought we had a policy. No dentists are allowed to watch this show.
Why?
Because he's a dentist and he shouldn't be watching. He should be working right now.
What if he has
his
off
stories
time?
on Instagram make me want to vomit sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like pulling molars out and shit.
Yeah. All good.
Sorry, bitch.
Just curious, what makes you think Ben Johnson will be that successful this year? I see the talent, but I think Jared Goff holds him back. That's super interesting. Well, I'll tell you this. I'm confident in Ben Johnson because I saw what Jared Goff looked like under Ben Johnson. You want to write off the first 9-10 weeks of the season and label it down to Anthony Lynn and then really Dan Campbell taking over and them getting comfortable with each other. After week 10, you saw the best version of Jared Goff you've seen in probably 2.5, 3 years. 3-1 down the stretch as a starter, top 5 in passer rating, top 7 in touchdown to interception ratio. Jared Goff looked good. Jared Goff looked like he could throw the football pretty damn good. I'm not saying he's a great quarterback, but Ben Johnson, I believe, is the key to unlocking this offense. Not DeAndre Swift, not TJ Hawkinson, Ben Johnson alone. And I think he's that good. And I think you're going to have a tough time keeping him for next season because somebody's going to want to hire him. Go look at the league. Go look at who's getting hired. Mike McDaniels, Brian Daboll. Who's always in the conversation out in Kansas City? Eric Bieniemy. Everybody's looking for the offensive coordinator of a successful team or a successful offense to come be the head coach of their team. That's how it works. And then, of course, you have dipshit organizations like the Bears who hire a defensive coordinator when they have a quarterback going into his second year and Justin Fields who needs all the help he can get. I mean, you can't fix stupid in those situations, but hey, you take them. You know, division rival, they're going to suck. Probably go 0-17. I'm all for it. So here we are. I think Ben Johnson, easily a top 5 coordinator by the end of the season. I think he's a top 5 coordinator going into it. I think you saw enough down the stretch. Granted, he wasn't calling the plays, and that'll be a different element to his game this year. I think they'll be even better. And yes, if the Lions are healthy, surrounding Jared Goff with a top 5 O-line, TJ Hawkinson healthy, DeAndre Swift healthy, Jameson Williams when he comes back, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Josh Reynolds, who is a very, very good comfort blanket receiver for Jared Goff. They have very good chemistry together. You can't convince me that that's not one of the better offenses in the NFC. And again, the NFC is trash right now. The NFC is very top-heavy. It is not balanced at all. Goff 2022 NFL MVP? I doubt it. You're giving Ben Johnson too much credit without even calling one play. Am I? You ask Dan Campbell, Deuce Staley, the players. You ask them why they were successful down the stretch. You ask why Amon-Ra St. Brown was lining up in the backfield, in the red zone, and scoring touchdowns for you last season down the stretch. All the trick play. You tell me. If you want to give Dan Campbell credit, be my guest. That kid got promoted to an offensive coordinator position because he was the one behind the scenes actually implementing all of it. Yes, he wasn't calling the plays. Yes, he needs to develop that experience. That's his next evolution. But I don't want to hear, oh, well, he hasn't called the play yet. What has he proven? He's proven that he single-handedly changed the way you game plan on offense moving forward. That means something. Swift is starting to be a bust. Yeah, it's not looking good, but I'm not going to say that yet because he's at least produced on the field when healthy. The hype of Ben Johnson reminds me of the hype of Joe Lombardi. Oh, my friend. No, these are two very distinct, different situations. There was an offense that couldn't hold its own weight the first 10 weeks of the season. Down the stretch, they were much better. It was a night and day difference when he was calling the plays. It was a night and day game plan difference. It was a mentality difference. They won at the line of scrimmage under Ben Johnson. They weren't doing that in the first few weeks of the season. Hell, week 1 through 9, nothing. They turned it around. It's a mentality change. But again, if you want to say he's not in the top 5, fine. I will put who? Wes Phillips, unproven. Mike Kafka, unproven. These are all people with their first coordinating jobs. Ben Johnson has experience. Oh, excuse me. You want me to put Ben fucking McAdoo over Ben Johnson? Go fuck yourselves. There's not a single offensive coordinator more deserving of that number 5 spot over Ben Johnson right now. Not one. And yes, Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay, and you could argue Matt LaFleur shouldn't even be on the list. Hell, even Cliff Kingsbury, given that they're all head coaches who oversee the offense. So then what? Come on. Unbelievable. We have to go to break. Top of the hour coming up. When we get back, Anthony from Pistons Talk will join the morning show. He'll give his thoughts on Jaden Ivey. He was one of the early Jaden Ivey people. What can Pistons fans expect from Ivey year 1? What to do with Durant and Stewart? And, of course, who the best fit is in free agency for the Pistons. We'll get to all that in a bit. But before we do, Maddie, could you tell everybody about the great work our good friends over at the Sports Marketing Agency are doing?
Yes, I can. The Sports Marketing Agency helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast, This is the F Word, helps spread awareness of fentanyl and other addictions. Go to thesportsma.com if you are struggling or know someone who is, and let them know that Woodward Sports sent you.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Well, if you are looking for something fun to do this week or this weekend, look no further than the Fulling Warehouse in Hamtramck. That is home of the original football bowling pin game called Fulling. They have 2 ways to play, $12 open unlimited play, or you can reserve a private lane for just $120. Don't forget, of course, they've got a $2 mystery beer machine as well as multiple full bars, so check it out at thefullingwarehouse.com.
All right, top of the hour brought to you by Bedrock Detroit.
Yes, it is.
We are joined by a very good friend, Anthony Colombo from Pistons Talk. By the way, who is starting a new podcast. Anthony, before we get into this interview, you got to tell me about this new podcast you're starting.
Yeah, so I launched a new podcast with a friend of mine, Lance, and we're just going to be covering all things Pistons from, news. Last night we talked about the draft, who the Pistons should look at in free agency. So I'm really excited to actually do this. It's something I've been wanting to do for a long time.
Hell yeah, man. I love it. Well, let's just get it started. First, your thoughts on Jaden Ivey's game, and what can Pistons fans expect from Jaden Ivey his rookie year?
I think what Pistons fans should expect from Jaden Ivey's game is a guy that's really athletic, fits really good next to Cade. I know fans love comparisons. To me, when I watch his game, I see a lot of Victor Oladipo, and I think just the way him and Cade can mesh in the backcourt is something that it's going to be a lot better than it was with Killian Hayes. I can say that. It's someone that, can shoot the three-point shot, can play off the ball. It's going to be a monster in transition. And I think the fact that we got him at 5 is just a home run.
Yeah, I think that was probably a conversation. We were trying to speak it into existence, yeah. Anthony. I don't think anybody thought, 1, the Kings wouldn't trade out of the pick, and then somebody would take Ivey, and then 2, that the Kings wouldn't just say, you know what, we're not passing on this kind of a kid. Like, we just can't do it. And the fact that they did for Davion Mitchell and Keegan Murray is, I find that hilarious. I can't believe it actually happened, Anthony.
Yeah, me either. I mean, the Kings are going to king, honestly. And, I know the Pistons are ecstatic that they got a guy that, to me, I think is going to be the best player out of this draft class.
Dude, yes, absolutely. You know what's funny? Out of all the players, I think 2 players in this draft landed in the best situation possible. I feel like Chet Holmgren in OKC is perfect for his development. And I think Jaden Ivey in Detroit was absolutely a home run fit, man. To play with Cade Cunningham, I don't think there was a better backcourt fit for him. Who's he going to play with, Jalen Green? What, De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis, who actually command the ball a lot? Where was he going to fit? I think the fit in Detroit was perfect for Ivey. I don't think there was a better fit for him in the draft.
No, I don't think so either. I think if you look at Detroit now and you look in the East, they have one of the best backcourts in the NBA right now, just in the Eastern Conference. I mean, you see Atlanta yesterday trying to trade for DeJounte Murray. So the Pistons are starting a trend where these teams are trying to look for, 2-guard lineups, like, combo guards to, try to, play off each other.
Yeah, 100%. Well, Anthony, it's going to lead me to my next question on the team, at least. We talk a lot about the backcourt, one of the best up-and-coming backcourts in the NBA right now, but you have a unique situation at the 5. You have Jalen Duren, a rookie coming in, who is, my goodness, talk about a man body. And then you have Isaiah Stewart, who is undersized, but hustles, physical, does his best to protect the rim, but I don't believe he has the ceiling defensively that Duren has. How do you go about handling that to start the season? Is it Isaiah Stewart starts the season as a 5, and by by late November, late December, Jalen Duren starts to get more minutes, and then by January, February, he's just a starter?
Yeah, I think Isaiah Stewart will probably be the starter to start the year off, but it wouldn't surprise me if Dwayne Casey slowly brings in Duren to kind of, get him used to playing NBA minutes. You don't want to, throw Duren out to the fire like that, It might hurt his confidence and hurt his development. But I think what you said is, probably would happen is, maybe, it's 2 months into the season and he's your everyday starter. I think he's a guy that, again, like Jaden Ivey, we drafted 2 of the most athletic guys out of this draft class. And when I look at Duren, I see a lot of Robert Williams III in him from the Boston Celtics.
I love that comparison. I think he's could he be the defensive player that Robert Williams is? I think you can hope, but he definitely has a higher offensive ceiling, yes?
Yeah, I would say defensively, if he could tap into that potential, man, sky's the limit. Offensively, I think you got a guy that can rim run, really athletic, some man-child. I mean, you look at him, he's like 6'11", 250 pounds already. So, I mean, Pistons got to steal at him at 13.
Oh, man. You know what's my favorite thing about the Durant trade is they gave up absolutely nothing for it. And that Jeremy Grant trade just looks a lot better and better. Anthony, free agency coming up July 1st, a few days away. I'm on the DeAndre Ayton is not coming to Detroit. I don't think that's even, it doesn't even make sense anymore after the draft. What's the best fit? And is it one Miles Bridges? And then the sub question to that is, what veteran pieces can you add to this team? Are you looking for veteran experience? Are you looking for veteran shooters? What's the game plan this upcoming July?
So to start with, the Ayton and the Bridges talk, I think a lot of teams are interested in them, but I don't think they're interested in throwing them the max. Like, Atlanta likes DeAndre Ayton, but they don't want to give him the max. Same with San Antonio. In terms of Miles Bridges, I mean, if you're looking at a max contract, you're talking about $170 million over the next 4 seasons. And that's a hard pill to swallow. I mean, we just got cap space, and do you really want to throw it on a guy that is fairly young? Do you think he can kind of flourish here in Detroit like he did in Charlotte? I don't know, because Cade Cunningham is not LaMelo Ball. He's not a pass-first point guard, always looking for him in transition. So I would probably be out on both of Ayton and Bridges. I think what the Pistons do is they're just going to go out and get those veteran pieces that really impact winning. You did mention shooting. I think that's something they're going to address. They're going to address more three-point shooting because they were one of the worst three-point shooting teams last year. I think they're going to go out and get a veteran big man. Maybe you go out and get a guy like a Serge Ibaka or a JaVale McGee to mentor Stewart and Jalen Duren. One guy that I'm really high on, I don't know if we have a chance, I'd love to bring in a Victor Oladipo to mentor Jaden Ivey and Cade Cunningham.
Wow. Interesting. I've never heard of that one before, Anthony. Walk me through. How do you balance the rotation and the minutes? That's a tough one for me. I think the best way to learn is on the job, but at the same time, the Victor Oladipo does bring a veteran presence to a very young guard position on the team. There are no veteran guards on this team. Let's just call it what it is.
Yeah, there's not. And, he's a guy that has ups and downs. And I think a lot of people forget how good he was in Indiana. He was damn near averaging 30 points a game before his injury. And I think you could have situations where Victor Oladipo may start or he may come off the bench as a sixth man. But I just think his presence in that locker room, he could really teach Jaden Ivey and whoever they bring in, off the bench and these young guys on the team, like what winning looks like. And you have to remember, he is a former Troy Weaver guy because he did have him in OKC.
What if I told you walked away with Serge Ibaka, Tyus Jones, and Malik Monk?
I think that's a good offseason. I really do. I think, Serge Ibaka isn't what he used to be, but like I said, good veteran presence. Really good shot blocker. I think he could teach, Isaiah Stewart and Jalen Duren, how to work around the basket. Malik Monk, really high on him. I think he's a really underrated signing. I think you could probably get him for around a mid-level, anywhere from like that $10 to $12 million range. And I would love, Victor Oladipo here in Detroit. I know it probably won't happen. He's probably going to go play for a contender like, a LA or maybe go to Brooklyn or something like that. But, I mean, if he did come here, I think it would be a really good fit.
Outside of Serge Ibaka, who's a good 4 or 5 that you could bring in to really mentor? Marvin Bagley is a child. He's, 23 years old? He's still very young. What veteran piece? Is it P.J. Tucker at the 4? Or are you looking for a big-bodied center, maybe Robin Lopez out of Orlando? I believe Brooke Lopez is also a free agent this year. I'm not sure. I'd have to double-check. But who else other than Ibaka?
I think Bobby Portis makes a whole lot of sense for Detroit, too. He was an NBA champion, played in Milwaukee. And to me, he just oozes Detroit Piston. Plays really hard defense. I think he's a really under the radar signing if you want to go and address your power forward need. And you give the Pistons a guy that's going to play really hard, and he's not going to want the ball constantly in his hands.
I mean, you talk about a guy that embodies his crazy eyes. I think that's a thing.
Yeah.
that's a thing with him. Before the draft, Anthony, I did want Kyle Anderson. I thought that was a really good fit. But now post-draft, I think looking at a 3 is very difficult for this team because at any given point, you could have Ivey or Saddiq Bey lining up at a 3 spot. Do I think Ivey's undersized to even be considered a 3? Yes, but you're going to be able to play a small ball lineup. So how do you balance it with Isaiah Stewart, who is undersized for his position, but then you have the prototypical, I would say, Jalen Duren. What kind of rotations are we going to expect? Is Cade, Saddiq, and Ivey going to be the main core, and then it's going to be Killian and Corey Joseph and one of the 3 on the court at one point? How is that going to work, and how is Dwayne Casey going to make it work?
Well, Casey did hint at 3-guard lineups during his presser, saying that he would experiment with Cade, Jaden, and Killian, which I think is interesting because he did a lot of that in Toronto. For your question, how is he going to balance it out? Who's going to be the main core? I think the main core will be Saddiq, Cade, and Jaden. In terms of forwards, I really don't know because it is a tricky situation, like you said. I mean, I'm looking at another guy in free agency that you could target, Taurean Prince, who's a really underrated guy, played in Minnesota this year. He can play in between that 3 and 4. And in terms of like your 5, like you said, like Isaiah Stewart, he's undersized. But I think there's certain situations and certain teams that you can play Isaiah Stewart to his strengths, and you can play Jalen Duren to his strengths too. So I think this is going to be a very versatile team. And I think in terms of rotations, I think Casey is just going to use the best rotation he sees fit for which team he's going to be playing against.
Final question, Anthony. One, how likely, and I'm hoping it's 99.9% likely, do they sign Marvin Bagley? And the second follow-up question to it is, what's the timeline for success with this basketball team, in your opinion?
So I think the Pistons have interest in bringing Marvin Bagley back. I think a lot of people like to debate what the price tag may be. I know last year, Hamidou Diallo was supposed to get $40 million. Troy doesn't sign him like all year. It gives him like $5 million a year. I think you'll probably see a similar situation with Marvin Bagley. I do not think Troy is going to break the bank to bring him back. If the price is right, the price is right. In terms of contending for this team, I think we're looking at a possible play-in this year, and I think the next 2 to 3 seasons, this team is going to be a consistent playoff contender, and I think they're going to start winning playoff games very soon.
Okay, well, you said playoff games. Do they win a playoff series this year or next year?
I could see them winning it next year, not this year. I think they're still fairly young. They got even younger this year. I think the veterans they do bring in this free agency is really going to matter to help them gel, help them play together, get chemistry together.
You need to help me out here. I'm lost. I asked the question in the YouTube poll. 54% said yes, the Pistons would win a playoff series in the next 2 years. How the hell is that going to happen, Anthony? They're so young. And you look at Luka, you look around the league at some of the guys that are up-and-comers. Yes, you have your one-off scenarios where Trae Young gets to an Eastern Conference final and then they don't make the playoffs and they lose in the play in the following year. I mean, I'm not sure how you win in year 3 of Cade Cunningham, year 2 of Jaden Ivey, year 2 of Jalen Duren with veteran pieces. This is a team that just needs to grow, don't they? Don't you need to just give them time?
I mean, yes and no. I mean, I could see where Pistons fans are coming from saying, hey, we can win a playoff series in the next 2 seasons, because you have to remember they're going to have a lot of cap space next year too. And the free agents next year are even better than this year. So, I mean, if they really hit a home run in free agency and they bring in an impactful player, yeah, I could see them winning a playoff series. I don't really think you need to worry about how they develop, because I'll use Joe Johnson as an example. When Donovan Mitchell was a rookie, they brought in Joe Johnson, and they were winning playoff series. I think if you get that type of impactful veteran, that teaches these kids, hey, this is how we win. This is how we're going to play night in and night out. I think you can see a switch flip very early with this team.
Fair enough. Well, Anthony, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Wait. Before he goes, I have a special video that I want him to be here for.
Oh, God.
Alex, can you play the video?
Yeehaw, motherfuckers!
Yeah!
God,
That's the classic.
That's when I had COVID.
Yeah.
That was worth the 4 seconds. Anthony sent that to me last night.
Oh, you motherfucker. You're the one who sent it, huh? No, fucking hang up. Hang up. I don't want to talk to this fucker. I don't want to talk to Anthony anymore. Close the goddamn phone
Bye,
call.
Anthony.
See you later, Anthony. I don't want to talk to you anymore. Bye-bye.
Talk to you later.
Hey, I put that up there as your birthday post on Twitter.
He sent that to me last night, and he goes, just in case you need any ammo. And I was like, yes.
What a guy.
Yeah, I put that up as your birthday post on Twitter. Happy birthday, Adam.
God bless you guys. God bless you guys. All right, we're going to go to break. When we get back, a timeline for the Detroit Pistons to be competing for the Stanley Cup. Obviously, after the Avalanche won the Stanley Cup, everyone's freaking out. All right, it's our year. The last 2 times the Avalanche have won the Cup, we won the Cup.
They are all freaking out.
Yeah. So we'll go over the timeline. Pistons. Red Wings have the number 8 overall pick next Thursday in the draft. What they'll do there, we'll get to all that next. But before we do, I got to tell you where I get my haircut, and that's at Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime, no appointment necessary. Their awesome stylists will take care of you like they take care of me. I can rely on a professional, clean cut always. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Brett Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
Glad that we can finally start trying to get the stigma off of mental health that's been there for all these years.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
OddsTrader.com is the #1 site for all of your game day bets. Head on over to their website for the best price on every game and sign-up offers from multiple sports books. Don't forget, of course, you can download their app from the App Store today for play-by-play updates, live scores, and bet tracking. But check it out at OddsTrader.com.
All right, here we are back on the Morning Woodward Show. The Detroit Red Wings have the number 8 overall pick in the 2022 NHL Draft next Thursday. Prospects associated with the team possibly. Who knows who's going to fall? It's a little different. When you're picking at 5, there's 4 people you need to worry about. When you're picking at 8, you need to worry about 7 individuals, right? And a few players that at least come to my mind that you'd like to see, Joachim Kimmel, Brad Lambert maybe. These are guys that are right around the anywhere from 5 to 10 projected ballpark. David Yurchek, that's another one. But at the end of the day, the NHL draft, this is a player that you're not going to see for a few years. You're not drafting a Connor McDavid at 8. That is not going to happen. This kid will just be shipped off to the system. He'll go out and play for a few years, and then you'll see him 3 years from now. And that fits right around the timeline that I have for this team to be successful. The Red Wings, I think, can compete for the final spot in the playoffs this season with the right head coach. I think they're getting there. Mo Seider going into year 2. Lucas Raymond going into year 2. I'm expecting 30 goals out of Raymond. 35 plus, 40 goals possibly out of Verana. I mean, if he can just stay healthy and on the ice, Jakub Verana is a problem. Only Austin fucking Matthews, had a higher goals per game average than Jakub Vrana last season. Austin Matthews scored 66 goals last season. Not even Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl had that pace. Not even Nathan McKinnon. Jakub Vrana, I think, is going to be a big deal for this team, of course, moving forward. If he can be healthy, this is a team that should be able to win 42 to 44 games this upcoming season. More experienced, new head coach, fresh mind, fresh ideas, a new voice in the locker room. I think it'll be very good for this team. It'll be probably their first exposure to playoff hockey. They won't win in the first round. I don't expect them to. But this is a team I think that can fight for that final spot. And that's a good start. You have a lot of prospects coming up as well. Sebastian Casa probably for another 2 to 3 years. I would like to say 2, but they have his NHL expectancy at 3 years. Whatever, we'll leave it there. Simon Edvinsson is a unit who will be called up this year. Will he have the year that Mo Seider had? That's tough to say. A Calder Memorial Trophy. That's tricky. I would say no, but I think he'll be better than what you've had last season. And you'll mix that up with what Yzerman will do in free agency. I think he'll target a veteran goalie. I think he'll target a veteran forward to play on the second or third line. Somebody that you can get 17, 18 goals in a given season out of. But those 17, 18 goals, boy, do they matter. You're kind of now building a team around your superstar firework players, Dylan Larkin, Lucas Raymond, Jakub Vrana, Mo Seider. Now you need the guys that do the dirty work. And would you like one more offensive scoring star? Absolutely.
Sure. Always.
Always. Are they available in free agency? Is Yzerman going to pay that money? We'll see. But I know for a fact you're going to go for a veteran goalie who's going to stabilize when Nedeljkovic does put the puck in his own net a few times a year. As embarrassing as that is to say, he's still very young. So that veteran presence that comes in and starts 18 to 24 games and wins you about 11, 12 of them, yeah, you need that. You need that this year. Adam had a Top Gun mustache. I forgot. I lost a bet. Were you here for that? I think you were still just doing the Lions stuff.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
Thanksgiving when you stupidly said the Lions would win.
I said the Lions would win their first game. Or if they didn't win, I would shave off everything except my mustache.
Yeah, so you had to shave it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Lions season, that was pretty much the whole season.
Yeah.
Was just
Yeah. Marc-Andre Fleury, please. That would be interesting. That would be interesting. Having a guy that, let's just call it what it is, cost you back-to-back cups, join your team all these years later.
Right?
I hate Marc-Andre Fleury.
I'm a hard
How
pass.
Lidstrom didn't get the... By the way, that final sequence of Game 7, the second go-round against Pittsburgh, was heartbreaking. Should have won that series. Up 3-2. Ah, that hurt. That hurt.
I feel like I have most faith in the Red Wings to do something first.
Well, I think you should, because they have the only proven GM in town. Yzerman's built a Stanley Cup winner before. Brad Holmes hasn't built a Super Bowl contender. Neither has Troy Weaver for an NBA champion. And then there's fat-ass Jabba the Hutt, Al Avila, who just knows how to build a rebuild. He just knows how to... Al is the best... I got to say, we got to give credit to Al Avila this morning. What am I doing? I can't go a single morning without talking Al Avila and giving him credit. Al Avila is the best general manager in baseball when it comes to taking your team and putting it into another rebuild. He is phenomenal at it. Think about it.
I'm thinking.
Press calls. Fan questions for Al Avila. Al, when are we going to be out of this rebuild? Well, Timmy.
We're out of it.
Well, Timmy, let me tell you. We're going to be in this rebuild as long as I'm the GM. Because I'm building everything the right way. Now, it may take 173 years, but we'll do it. Al Avila. Don't look at me like that, Alex. What do you want me to do? Huh? This jackass doesn't invite me to golf. Al Avila is ruining the Detroit Tigers as we know it. Come on. I have to be shorter?
Oh, yeah, you said you were too tall.
Yeah, you gotta be short.
Remember you stooped down?
Yeah.
All right, we got Owen joining us in a little bit. That'll be fun. Better than talking to this guy. Adam reading mean tweets video.
What is wrong with you?
What is wrong with you? You
What?
did wake up angry, didn't you?
What?
You weren't doing your own freaking impersonation right, so he called you out on
Yeah.
it, motherfucker.
What do you mean?
Elevate.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm
Elevate,
sorry.
you dum-dum.
Oh, light bulb.
Light bulb.
Now you know why I didn't invite you to golf.
I've been doing this
Do better.
goddamn show. I've been talking for too long. All right. Excuse me. Al knows how to build a pizza. No, Al does not know how to build a pizza. He just knows how to eat 7 of them in one seating. That's what Al Avila knows how to do. And if I had
think it's sitting, but
if
we'll
my
let it
life
pass.
relied on Al Avila or anybody in general, if my life was solely dependent on somebody smashing 10 pizzas in 15 minutes,
Oh, he'd win.
Should we get pizza? Oh, no, it's Taco Tuesday.
it's Taco
Yeah,
Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday.
Al Avila would be my first call. And I think he would save my life. All right.
Wait, why would Alabama save your life?
God damn it, do you not listen?
No, I don't. Not
All
when
right.
you're talking.
I was saying, if my life was on the line and they told me that somebody had to eat 10 pizzas in 15 minutes,
And you wouldn't call me? What
I
the
would call Al Avila. I would not
Al
call
Avila
you,
knows
look
what
at
to do.
you.
I can put down some pizzas.
Some pizzas, not 15.
I mean, we don't know until we try.
Yeah, you don't know.
Terry was right, you're a heifer.
Wow.
Every
Take-
pizza is a personal pizza if you try real hard and believe in yourself.
She's not wrong.
You have to finish all of them, jackass.
And?
Yeah, she knows that.
I'm not trusting you at all. 0.
Okay.
Al Avila gets more vote of confidence than you do on this one, sorry. He has a proven gut and track record.
Wow, you just picked Alavila over me.
Yeah, that's...
You should take it as a compliment. You're not a fat ass.
My heart, my soul.
God damn it.
Wow.
We got to go to break. When we get back, Spencer Raxter joining us
Yes.
for the next 2 topics. We're going to get Spencer's thoughts on Jaden Ivey and what it means for Cade Cunningham. I actually liked what I heard out of Spencer the other day, so I do have a few questions for him. But before we do, Maddie, could you tell everybody at home about the lifestyle beverage that is Sintra?
Yes, I can. The summer of Cintron is here, and now you can pick it up at your local Kroger. Head on over to Kroger. They even got a deal right now, 2 for just $4. That's an absolute steal. Cintron is a new energy drink for the active lifestyle. Drink it, live it with Cintron.
Hi, I'm Cade Cunningham. I'm proud to partner with Hall Financial, the mortgage company known for 5-star service. Don't just take my word for it. Check out their 5,000 5-star reviews for yourself. Go to callhallfirst.com and get started with your 5-star experience today.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Open all summer long, Memorial Day to Labor Day. Bedrock Detroit brings you the best part of the summer, and that's at the Monroe Street Midway. There will be basketball, roller skating, mini golf, art installations, live music and food trucks, free Wi-Fi so you can work from the park. Open all summer long. Summer is better at the Monroe Street Midway. We are back here on the Morning Woodward Show.
Was that where we are?
You know what? I'm not sure where we are anymore. You
I
guys
forget
are
every
pulling up
morning.
videos of me 10 years ago.
10 years ago?
Yes.
That was like
That
more
was
like
November.
6 months ago.
Yeah. It was like 7 months ago.
Why are you the most dramatic person in this office?
Easily. Easily.
That's so not true.
So let's rephrase that
You're
again.
probably like a number 4.
Number 4, my
Yeah.
ass.
Are you serious?
Me dramatic?
No,
Yeah.
look, can we rank all of our people from most dramatic
What's
to least
up,
dramatic?
Flannel?
What up, Flannel Sam?
Hey, can we
So
rank
Spencer
our...
lost
All right,
weight.
cool.
And
Started wearing flannels.
and he cut his hair.
No
He
hats
grew out
today.
his beard. And he
He now
wears
goes
flannel
by the
shirts
name
now.
of Flannel.
Everybody welcome Spencer Raxter to the show.
Hey, that's
Yeah!
that's what happens when you win a donating
All right,
contest over the
Flannel Sam,
weekend.
you said some bullshit since you've worked here.
Oh, boy.
You know what? We're going to do a job performance review live.
He's got to
actually.
cut that, you bum.
So, first of all, the Ben Wallace thing, unforgivable. That was strike 1.
Unforgivable.
Unforgivable.
We already fired him once. Hold on.
You did make a good case for DeAndre Swift. in scrimmage yards. I like that. So that saved your job. So now we're at 2 situations. This is now the 3rd. If you get this wrong, you will no longer be employed here.
Oh boy,
All right.
pressure.
Your thoughts on the Jaden Ivey pick?
You know, when it first happened, I was actually on the Keegan Murray train at first. But I've done some thinking.
Thank God.
And obviously, when the pick is made, you have to accept that that's your guy. And the thing that I see from Jaden Ivey that I really like is he is elitely athletic. I know there's been some concerns about his finishing ability, but when you're that athletic, you can create opportunities for yourself and others. You can blow past people and create opportunities that nobody can miss because they're all NBA players. And I think he's going to do a really good job playing off of Cade Cunningham. And I also think he's one of those guys, when everything breaks down, he can get you a bucket. What have the Pistons been lacking the last few years?
Scoring.
Yes. And Jaden Ivey's one of those guys. I think he can contribute right away. I'm actually very happy. The day after on Big D Energy, I said I gave the draft an A-. I'm ready to give it an A. A straight up A now.
Good.
So
You're saving your job right now.
I'm saving my job.
One
okay.
more question.
Yes.
To save your job.
Okay.
No pressure. Who has a higher ceiling coming out of college, Keegan Murray or Jaden Ivey?
Jaden Ivey.
All right, good man. Good man. All right, well, we can have a conversation now. Congratulations, you still work here. All right, question for you.
Yes.
You mentioned Jaden Ivey, explosive, can cut to the rim, get to the basket, score. How is that going to work, or how is it going to work with Cade Cunningham? A lot of what we saw last season with Cade was he was finding people open and cutting, but they weren't able to finish.
Yeah.
I mean, statistically, we're going to see more assists per game out of Cade. One, because of natural evolution. He will get better in year 2.
Yes.
And also, I think Jaden Ivey is going to do wonders for him.
Well, they didn't have a guy like Jaden Ivey last year. They just didn't. They were lacking athleticism. They were lacking a true slasher who could actually get to the rim and finish like that. And yeah, that'll work really well for Cade Cunningham, because Cade Cunningham, he didn't have crazy assist numbers last year, but it wasn't his fault. You got to have people that can finish those amazing passes. And Jaden Ivey, he just brings something that the Pistons just haven't had. And honestly, I'm kind of surprised at myself that I ever even questioned the pick. I mean, I never really questioned the pick, but he wasn't my first choice. But looking back, I'm kind of, you can change your opinion with new information. I'm actually the one who said that. So, yeah, Jaden Ivey, it's bringing an element. And him alone, I think that can give the Pistons some more wins, just if Jaden Ivey can not even reach his ceiling, if he has a decent rookie year, just because of what he brings to the table.
I agree. Anthony in the chat says, I mean, Diallo isn't a slasher, ? He is, but he's not a natural finisher. He just isn't. And he's not that guy that's going to give you 16, 17, 20 a night in a few years. And I think year 1, I don't think it's crazy of me to say that Jaden Ivey gets you about 14.7 points a night on about 47, 48% shooting.
That would be unbelievable.
Well, I don't think he's going to be taking 4 or 5 threes a game.
No, that's for Sadiq Bey. That's the guy who's going to be your spot-up three-point shooter. And Jaden Ivey, yeah, if they use him correctly, if he does jack up a lot of threes, I won't be very happy with that. And I don't think you will be either, Adam, or Piston fans. But that's where a guy like Cade Cunningham can get him some looks that aren't just wide open threes. He can get him cutting to the basket. And Jaden Ivey, he's going to have to learn. Dwayne Casey is going to have to coach him up and, kind of encourage him to be him, because even at Purdue, he didn't shoot a ton of threes. He wasn't a great three-point shooter. He needs to be self-aware. Oh, boy.
Continue. You're fine. Don't pay attention to Maddie.
Oh, man.
Don't pay attention to Maddie.
No,
ignore it. You learn once you ignore her, you actually start to tolerate her. That's what I do.
This is my first foray into the morning show, so I'm kind of, getting my feet wet. Yeah, thank you, Fish. But yeah, it all just kind of depends on the leadership, the coaching. If Jaden Ivey is susceptible to being coached, he's got to play within his skill set, especially his rookie year. He's going to have some, rookie growing pains, obviously, because all rookies do. Even Cade Cunningham did. Cade Cunningham wasn't great at the beginning of the year. But I'm excited for this season. I know you are, Adam. I know the day after you were just wilding out on the show. Everybody was.
Gotta bring out the hookah.
Yeah, you want to know why he knows that? Because he had to edit our video
Well, that's
so
true.
much.
But he bought out the hookah, too.
Flannel, who has the best job at this network?
Uh-oh.
The best job at this network. That is a tough one. I would.
What does that mean, best? Can you specify best job?
The most enjoyable job.
Oh, okay.
Most enjoyable job? I would probably have to go with Kathy because she makes every single person here happy no matter what. Why are we all
Wild
here?
shot.
I mean, besides for the love
We
of
love
the
you,
game.
Kathy.
But, you know, if Kathy's the one, when Kathy comes to see you with your check, you're happy. And I
Fair
would
enough.
love to make so many people that happy. So I'm going to go with Kathy.
All right, fair enough.
Dang,
Well,
what are you trying to say? I don't make people happy with Taco Tuesday?
no.
Oh, Maddie,
Come on,
I've
Flannel.
said many times that I'm super thankful for that. Like, I've actually pulled you aside and been like, thank you, Maddie, because I don't usually eat lunch. I know my fiance doesn't like that, but when you bring us tacos, I have no choice.
Well, guess what? I got tacos today for you, Flannel.
LFG.
She
Yes.
not only that, she's bought the whole bakery here.
Yes, there's
Got like a
actually
whole restaurant
I did
here.
a little bit of baking last night.
A
so
little?
I made cannolis, Fruity Loop Rice Krispies.
Hey, how long did
and
that take
chocolate
you?
chip cookies.
By the way, I'm going
How
to
long
defend
did that
Flannel
take you?
Sam on this one.
Uh-oh.
D-Mac was a role player.
Oh, boy.
What's wrong with that? But he was a very important role player.
Yes, I mean, especially.
But I mean, some of your stuff was a bit too much, though. And how D-Mac didn't punch you in the face is beyond me.
I said on the show that especially in '97, he might have been their highest end role player. It's just, I don't know. I'm gonna get myself in trouble for this. I don't.
How you not?
I feel like that people lionize D-Mac even more so than they do some guy like a guy like Nicholas Lidstrom or Sergei Fedorov or Brendan Shanahan, and that's kind of always bothered me a bit. The only two Red Wings of all time who I think are more beloved in this city are Gordie Howe and Steve Yzerman. And D-Mac, where does he rank in terms of Red Wings players of all time? I'm just
But
saying.
that's not the point when it comes to. I mean, for example, right? Let's just call it what it is. In hockey, there's no sport that needs third, fourth liners than hockey.
No, I understand that.
In the NBA, you win because of your stars. Hockey, you don't win because of your stars. That's why Edmonton's at home right now.
That's a very good counter because they do have arguably the two best offensive players in the game, but they're sitting at home. I'm just saying that D-Mac needed guys like Stevie Y and Sergei and Lidstrom even more than they needed him. And of course they needed him. And I would even say in 02 and 08, D-Mac was really like a carried by the team guy. Come on, look at the stats. Look at them. They don't
to be
lie.
fair,
In a way, yeah.
To be fair, the stats do point to that. I still think there's something to say about a team, especially even in 08. You know, you needed Darren McCarty on that team. That was a team that was very fragile mentally. And they really grew up together, really after the All-Star break. But you need players like Darren McCarty. I don't need Darren McCarty to get me 70 goals a year. I need him to get me 9 to 13, and that's it.
But in 08, I want to quiz the audience right now. How many games in the regular season did he actually play? I bet none of you will get it right because you don't know because nobody will tell you. The correct answer is
24.
3. 3. And how many points did he score in the playoffs? 2. I'm just saying in 08 he was kind of that guy who didn't do anything on the project but still got an A. And I'm not trying to disrespect D-Mac. D-Mac is my guy. I watched the documentary. I was as blown away as anybody. I loved it. And D-Mac was absolutely phenomenal in his interviews because he's the guy that we all know. We see it on TV. I talk to my fiance and I'm just saying, I'm watching it with her and I'm just like, that's the D-Mac that I see at work every day. And I love the guy. I just don't like folk heroes being made out of mediocre players. And I'm not saying that D-Mac was mediocre in 97 and 98, but in 02 and 08, the numbers don't lie. They just don't. And that's I will never ever back down from that because I don't like the folk heroization of mediocre players. You saw it with guys like Don Kelly, too. That's another good example now that Spencer is here. Don Kelly never hit over 250 in his entire Tiger career.
Okay, but that's not comparable though.
Don't die in the die.
You know what,
Fish,
this is one of the few times I'll ask you to mute the mic that's in that chair. Flannel, just leave. I don't want to fire you. I love you too much.
Love you too, Adam.
You're very risky.
Thank
Just
you,
mute
guys.
his mic. No, don't say thank you. Leave. Just leave. Jesus Christ. Sorry about that, everybody. We're going to go to break, and we're going to try to recover from that. When we get back, the official... Oh, he's back. He gained weight.
Back.
He grew his hair out. And he's got that long-ass goatee. I don't even know how to describe
And he
it.
took off his flannel.
And he took off his flannel.
Yep.
He's back in the chair, ready to go. We're going to talk some Pistons when we get back. But before we do, Maddie, the best defense on and off the court.
Yes, the best defense on and off the court is Guardian Alarm. They keep you safe and they give you peace of mind. Whether you're at home, on the road, they're 24/7 local monitoring. Make sure what's important to you is safe. Give them a call today at 1-800-STAY-OUT for peace of mind. That's right, you heard the fam. 1-800-STAY-OUT right now.
Don't
Let
hit
them
on
know that
D-Mac.
Woodward Sports sent you.
Bye. Hey, Scott from the Woodward Bet Show. We've been red hot. You guys got to make sure you're tailing along. And also, we're going to start talking about fantasy football. Get you guys ready for your drafts and all that other fun stuff for the upcoming season. But listen, first, you guys got to get over to that app store and download oddstrader.com. It's got live scoring, play-by-play updates, and it's the best place to check all the odds at all the sports books right in the palm of your hand. But listen, we got to stay hot. We're going to win us a winner tonight. Let's go with the Boston Red Sox. Red Sox been hot. Oddstrader.com. Woodward Bets. Check it out.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
When you need apparel, there is only one place to go, and that's Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround time, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi today, or give them a call at 844-4-BIG-FROG.
All right, we're back here on the morning show. Spencer, officially Spencer now.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I got a question for you.
Yes.
You Keegan Murray or Jaden Ivey guy?
I'm Jaden Ivey. I didn't want Keegan Murray.
Thank
at all.
God.
Yeah.
All right.
Did not want Keegan Murray. I don't want to draft a role player, a position player at 5.
Thank you. God bless you.
Of course.
I was going to kill Flannel Sam. It was hard for me because I was standing. I could get out and just...
He said he wanted Keegan Murray, and then he talks crap about D-Mac and Don Kelly.
It's a long story, man. Let's just ignore it for now.
Guy's
Anyways. Jaden Ivey selected at 5.
Yes.
His impact on the team year 1. What do you expect?
I expect a lot. I expect him to be the fighting for that number 2 points per game average on the team. He's going to put a lot of pressure on the rim with his attacking style. It's going to free up a lot of different things. Cade's not going to be getting double teamed more than Kevin Durant and Steph Curry because we've got another guy who can handle the ball, create his own shot. I'm excited for that. I'm excited to see his athleticism in the full court, in transition, going down at the rim, attacking the basket, putting a lot of pressure on the defense. I'm excited for that. I think he's going to be on the all-rookie team. Obviously, he's going to be a top 3 rookie of the year contender. I don't know how that shakes out. Should have been Cade last year. So if he puts up better stats than Michael Jordan and doesn't win it, I don't know what the hell's going on with the Rookie of the Year, but it's. I'm excited. I'm excited to see how they mesh, to see how they grow. Troy Weaver challenged him to be an elite defender, and I think that is very possible with his athleticism, with his lateral quickness and his length. I think he can be an elite defender in this league. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see him go out there to prove that all his haters wrong, to prove all these people wrong, saying he's too small, he can't shoot, he can't do this, can't do that. I'm excited to see him go out there, play with a chip on his shoulder, and help lead this team into the play-in tournament.
Is there a younger, more promising backcourt outside of maybe Boston right now in the NBA?
No. I think we got a lockdown. We have, obviously Cade Cunningham, a rising superstar. Everybody knows what this guy's going to be. He's fantastic on and off the court. He makes all of his teammates better. He plays the game at his own pace, makes it look easy. Jaden Ivey, you bring electric athlete into that. You bring a guy that's going to, like I said, come in, put pressure on the rim, be a secondary ball handler, be a guy. When Cade Cunningham left the court last year, the offensive efficiency for the Pistons went in the toilet. And now you have a guy that if Cade Cunningham comes off for a rest, you can leave Jaden Ivey in there and let him run the show. Let him be the guy that initiates the offense for the team. So I don't think so. I think we have, it's like us, Boston. I mean, if you still want to call them young, they're going into their prime.
They're in their prime right now, right? So the next 4, 5, 6 years.
I'd say you got to look at Houston. Houston's good with KPJ and Jalen Green
and Jabari Smith.
I don't know
how the hell that's going to work out.
They got a lot of talent. Houston's got a lot, and especially, well, the Nets aren't going anywhere. But if the Nets would have blown up, Houston's got their draft picks for the next 5 years. So they're going to have a lot of talent.
That's a very good point. Well, let's move into Detroit Pistons free agency. Spencer, Anthony, Pistons Talk was on a little earlier. Talked about he would pass on Miles Bridges, pass on DeAndre Ayton, and focus on bringing in a Serge Ibaka, a Bobby Portis, along with a few veteran shooters. Your strategy going into free agency July 1st?
I like Miles Bridges. I don't think all reports are saying they're not going to offer a max to either. They're out on Ayton. They're saying they're not
I think that's done.
Yeah, Ayton's done. That's gone. He's not coming here. They're saying they're not going to offer the max to Miles Bridges. We'll see how that goes. But I like what Anthony was saying. It's, you can bring in a Serge Ibaka, a Bobby Portis, a Montrezl Harrell. You've got guys like Gary Harris, Malik Monk, Bryn Forbes. You can bring in, sign them to short, 1 to 2 year contracts to keep that flexibility, because you are going to have to pay Sadiq Bey coming up very soon. So
well, he's going into year 3.
Yes.
You're going to pay him after the following season.
So it's very important to keep that flexibility because we got these young guys that are, you're going to have to drop a bag on Cade.
You're going to drop a bag on Cade. You're going to have to drop it on Sadiq if he continues to grow, because his market value will be max. You're going to have to offer him a max unless he regresses, which I don't think anybody expects.
Yeah.
And then there will be the years down the line where Jaden Ivey, likely another star player, will command a max. So this team is young. It's trending like Boston. I like to say it's somewhere between Golden State and Boston. I don't think they'll be as competitive as Boston was early on with their young core. And I don't think they'll be as bad as Golden State was when they drafted Clay. They drafted Steph and Draymond. I think there's somewhere in between where they're just going to grow together. And I think 3-4 years down the road, you're looking at a team that probably is getting out of the first round for sure. Could probably get to an Eastern Conference final.
Yeah, definitely. It's important. I think we're doing the same kind of thing the Raptors did when Dwayne Casey was with the Raptors. You have a young team. You build it off of that guard play. Although Kyle Lowry wasn't young at the time when he came to Toronto, it's still with DeRozan. You saw them get Pascal Siakam, OG Anunoby. They built that team. They turned into a perennial playoff winner. They turned into a team that would go deep in the playoffs, and then they made the move. They made the move to get in Kawhi Leonard to push them over the edge to that championship echelon. I think that's what the Pistons are drawing up. They're drawing up a team that we have this young core. Everybody likes it. We're going to start going into the playoffs in a couple years, start fighting for Eastern Conferences, and then when these guys are in their prime, when Cade Cunningham's in his prime, you go out, you make a move, you trade for a superstar that's not happy where they are to push you over the top.
Fair enough. Well, Spence, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Everybody, ladies and gentlemen, Spencer Raxter, OG, crushed it yesterday on Big D Energy. Was a great watch. Make sure you check him out. Follow him on Twitter if you haven't already. You got to change your name. I like the nickname, Spenmo Rax.
Spenmo Rax?
No, he did change his name. He changed his name to Donut Champion Spencer Raxter.
No, excuse me.
Donut King of Wall
Congratulations, by the way.
Donut King of Wall.
Appreciate it.
I love it.
Oh, God. We're going to go to break. When we get back, mailbag time. Get your questions in the chat for myself, Maddie, Fisher, Alex. Doesn't matter who.
Yeah.
But before we do, Maddie, could you tell everybody at home about our good friends over at Big Boy?
Yes, I can. Guess what? Buffets, they're back. They're back at Big Boy every weekend from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Don't forget to try their classics like the Slim Jim, Dolly Chicken Sandwich, and, of course, the original Big Boy. So head on over to your local Big Boy. You can find your nearest location at bigboy.com.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991? Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us on the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Also featured on the Roar on 99.1, 93.5, and 94.7 HD2. It's mailbag time. Why are you shaking your head at me?
Because he always
mailbag
does
time.
that.
Who wins an Oklahoma drill, Owen or Adam? It's a good question. Probably Owen. Right? I think you win. I don't know.
He's got the youth on his side.
Yeah, come on.
I think he'll get lower than I can.
Wow.
No, 100%.
Why are you shaking your head at me?
You'll see when you see.
Oh,
Adam,
boy.
am I crazy to think the Lions will cut Jamal Williams to save money and try to get younger in the running back room this year? I don't think you're crazy. I just don't think they do it because the uncertainty with DeAndre Swift. If he goes down again, you're going to want a veteran back in there. You're going to want Jamal, Craig Reynolds, and Jamar Jefferson. So I don't see it happening. I just don't. Ivey in the open court will be a problem. It absolutely will. Honolulu Blues party, I agree 100%. Can Spencer win a hot dog eating contest? Spencer knows a thing or two about eating hot dogs. Let me tell you. I've seen my fair share of people eat hot dogs. No one does it better than Spencer.
Wow.
We're talking professional.
You need to stop.
Professional. Guzzles down the water at the same time. I'm telling you, like it's a whole thing. Adam, who drafted more cocaine, the Lions or the Pistons? Oh, that's a hard one. I think they both drafted equally the same amount of cocaine, but if I had to give it to one, I would say the Lions. They did draft Jameson Williams and Aiden Hutchinson, who will be impact players year one in the NFL. Jalen Duran, Jaden Ivey. The NBA is a different sport. Do I think they'll be successful in their own rights year one? Sure. But Jaden Ivey, yes. Jalen Duran, or Jaden Ivey, excuse me. But Jalen Duran, I'm not quite sure what his numbers look like year one. Is it 6 and 7, 6 and 6 with 14 minutes a night, 18 minutes a night? We just don't know that yet. So that's a tricky one, but I would give it to the Lions. Mailbag, how can I take Maddie out on a 5-star restaurant at a Tiger game? That's on you, bro, buddy. That's not on me. I can't make that happen for you. You ask her. She's right there. Go ahead, Maddie.
I got nothing for that one. Anyways. Can Wasim send in more pics of Adam with an afro? Wasim, you heard the man.
I mean, we have tons of them already.
How about no? How about shut the hell up?
How about you have no say in what I do? Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, you
All right,
kind
bitch.
of have no say.
Look who brought up bitch attitude today. Just because Terry's not here. Jesus Christ.
Chairless Tuesday.
God. WSN outing. The people deserve an update. I don't have an update yet. I don't. We're trying to make it happen, but we don't have a commitment yet. So until we do, there's nothing yet, but the goal is to have one in August. What are your thoughts on the Oladipo conversation from earlier? That's a good question, Zachary. Honestly, I'm still thinking about it. I'm not sure how I feel about Oladipo. There are only... It's tricky. There's only 48 minutes in an NBA game.
Yeah, that's correct.
And I'm supposed to have Killian Hayes develop, Sadiq Bey, Jaden Ivey, and Cade Cunningham, along with Isaiah Livers, and then Corey Joseph currently. The minutes don't add up to me. Owen, what do you think about Oladipo?
Personally, I would be patient. I think unless you can get him for cheap and you can talk things out where you're not the priority, where those young guys have to progress, and unless you're going to take them under your wing as Victor Oladipo, then I wouldn't sign him in that case.
Yeah, it's tricky, and they have too many guards.
Right.
They have too many players that command the ball. That's the reason why you got rid of Jeremy Grant, too.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree with you. I do agree with Michael Daniel in the chat. That was the last appearance ever on the morning show by Flannel Sam. That'll never happen again. I don't care if I am dying and somebody needs to talk into the mic. We will just have nobody talk. Flannel Sam is no longer invited or welcomed on the morning show ever again. Thoughts on Mel Tucker? I think Mel Tucker's phenomenal. Tuck coming, baby.
Keep chopping.
Keep chopping, man. Look, I'm high on Mel Tucker. I think they're building something special. It's a very tricky battle that Michigan State have. And Owen, you can speak on it a little more with the recruiting cycle, but they're trying to do what Oregon did all those years ago. And if you look at Oregon right now, they just recruited a top 5 quarterback, and they've had 5 head coaches in the last 6 years. And they got a 5-star quarterback prospect.
Right.
Brand matters. Michigan State's trying to build it. Michigan, I don't think have taken it seriously enough. They finally won a Big Ten title, but they've somehow missed out on a future 5-star quarterback. Somebody help me understand this, please.
Yeah, I mean, Carr's obviously a tough situation, but I mean, if you don't believe in Mel Tucker right now and you're a Michigan State fan, then I don't know what else he can do besides win a Big Ten title game for you to just gain confidence in him. I mean, obviously recruiting last year and everything, this is going to be a huge test year for Mel Tucker because the expectations are high. So how is he going to answer? I think he's going to answer the bell.
I would agree with you. Adam, question for you. Will you do a review video, 2 to 5 minutes for each Hard Knocks episode? That would be great content. Yes, we are. We do plan on having a whole topic dedicated to the latest episode of Hard Knocks once it gets up and running. Other questions in the chat. How do you guys feel about the coach's son we got undrafted from Syracuse? So whatever. Boeheim's kid, right?
Yeah, I mean, he was good in college, but
whatever. Who will Woodward Sports send to Traverse City to cover the Red Wings camp? We'll probably send Gentry. Who knows? Who knows? Go Green, Mel Tucker rocks. A lot of Spartans in the chat. Let's see what other questions we have. Let's see. Adam, is Wasim still your daddy in fantasy football? How about you ask him that? I think he'd even make the playoffs this year. So, here. At least I finished in 3rd, but whatever. We're not going to talk about it. Other questions in the chat. With the Lions and Pistons both having great drafts, it's only right Steve Yzerman one-ups them both. Ooh. I don't know how Steve's going to one-up them.
That's going to be hard.
You have the number 8 overall pick. No one's trading out of the top 3. Shane Wright's going 1. Good luck. And Shane Wright isn't going to walk into the league and dominate like Connor McDavid, like Austin Matthews. He's not doing that. He'll be 60 points his first year, maybe 62, 64. But I don't see it. I don't see Shane Wright going 86, 87, 90 points year 1. I just don't see it happening at all. Let's see what other questions we have in the chat. Big Ten football champions this season, or who has a better chance, Michigan or Michigan State? I go Michigan.
Michigan, yeah.
Michigan, I think, are more equipped this year if they start J.J. McCarthy to win a Big Ten title.
I just think the easier schedule is with Michigan, but I think Ohio
8 home
State
games,
wins
right?
it. Yeah.
Interesting.
Only road games. I believe it's Indiana,
Ohio
Rutgers, Ohio State, and Iowa.
Yes.
So I think that's the story right there.
Fair enough. When do you start wearing a turtleneck again? I don't know. Whenever it gets cold, or I get too many hickeys. I don't know. We'll see. That's up to somebody, not me. Anyways, we gotta go. That's the end of the show. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Terry will be back tomorrow. Should be a fun show. Big D Energy, of course, at 11 o'clock. Make sure you check out The Bottom Line from 2 to 4 with Ryan Armani. Braylon back. We'll see his thoughts on the NBA draft. Of course, over the weekend, the Tigers play tonight against the San Francisco Giants. If you guys aren't aware of who the Giants are, 5 years ago they had the worst record in baseball. Last season they had one of the best records in baseball. And this year they're a very good team again. And you're sitting there with Al Avila. I don't know how to build a football team. I don't know how to build a baseball team. I don't know what I'm doing. That's today's Al Avila message. God bless all of you. Have a great rest of your day. Maddie's too busy. She doesn't even acknowledge me anymore. We're done. See you guys.